You love serialized storytelling. Is there still a market right now for like intensely serialized stories? I mean, Lost is over now, unfortunately, and it seems that as it kind of went out, there seems to be that the TV landscape kind of turned against intensely serialized stories. And do you sense that TV networks are not interested in that kind of format right now?
I think typically they're not. They want shows that can repeat. They want shows, you know, the studios want shows that will syndicate and serialized shows. I'm just personally less interested, naturally interested in non-serialized shows. I enjoy the investment in and the anticipation in the characters and what's going to happen and what conditions are really going on. And, you know, to me, that's the thing that always grabs you. And I think they want it too. They just don't know it. When they talk about stories, stories imply time. Stories imply inevitability and some kind of progress. And so I think that the trick is, and I know that, you know, the showrunners on Fringe have been working really hard to kind of maintain an ongoing story as well as keeping every episode feeling as much as a, you know, self-contained thing as possible. But I'm personally drawn to that. This new show that we're doing on NBC, Undercovers, is a show that is much more self-contained, but it naturally will have, and has just, you know, as we've been working on the episodes, develop a story that is being told over time. You don't need to watch 1 through 5 to get what's happening in 6. But to me, that's the story that, for whatever reason, I'm naturally drawn to that kind of story.
Josh, did you want to take that question at all?
Just, you know, I think the networks will never, ever ask for that. They will never admit that people want that, because they do see the easy cash cow of the Mentalist. Let's all make the Mentalist. And when Lost first hit and was just blowing up huge and everybody was loving it, we were all so into it, they were still like, we don't want that. That successful Emmy-winning thing? No, yeah, we don't want that. I mean, they would speak against serialized storytelling while it was the only thing people were watching on television, because they're thinking bottom line. It's very weird, because ultimately the serial is always going to be the thing people remember. What do they remember about Cheers? Sam and Diane, not, you know, a great joke from Cheers. They remember that. And so it's, you know, I like both. I like to have some sort of resolve, so I don't feel like I just, you know, I'm still angry about The Empire Strikes Back, okay? It doesn't have an ending. It's not okay. So, you know, I like to split the diff, but yeah, the progression is what it's all about. Well, it doesn't. He's frozen in carbonite.
Before we open it up to questions, I'd love to know kind of like what's inspiring you guys like right now. We talk a lot about your influences, we talk a lot about your sort of relationship to your past, but like right now, who's doing things that are like you know, inspiring you visually? Who's doing things that's inspiring you in storytelling?
I love Edgar Wright. I just saw Scott Pilgrim.
Yes.
Scott Pilgrim is awesome, and I loved it. And you know, I mean, there are a lot of different people who are doing stuff. You know, Chris Ware, who's an amazing comic artist. So I cannot, the stuff he does with time and kind of stopping time and taking you on these tangents. I mean, there's certain people who just blow my mind. You know, but usually I just feel like there are a lot of people. I mean, I could go on with a huge list, but I'd be even more boring, sir.
I'm just gonna say, you know, making the Avengers, that's cool. So I must be awesome. But I'm also watching a lot of stuff, you know, just sort of looking for moods and things. You know, you end up watching a lot of films. And I will say, not inspiring, but I have had actual moments of sheer fucking panic because I love Star Trek so much. I just keep watching it and going, no, I'm sorry, you have to hear this. It's time the children knew. I honestly watch it and I go, this is the gold standard for a teen movie, for a summer movie, for any movie that has come out in the last couple of years. And it makes me throw up with fear. So I have to stop watching it.
Okay, we have some questions.
But it was true.
JJ, Joss, welcome. It's good to see you here again. My question is, as directors, people who are involved in the entertainment field, how important it is to you to be here and have this fan interaction with what you do in future projects? How does that affect what you do?
Well, you got a pitch?
What did you call him? Literally, I thought I heard something else.
We're here all week. Apart from the fact that it's very nice to find out that people actually still care about the stories you're telling, it's just a little bit of an unreality check. It's a little bit of sort of reminding myself of that bizarre world that I come from. And you do get a sense of what people are responding to and what they're not when they say things like, I hated that thing or that character, and then you sort of, and everybody claps, and then we drink and cry alone in a minibar. But mostly it's good. It's totally good. And it's like just returning to ground zero, to home base.
I was very excited and honored when Entertainment Weekly asked us to come to do this. I was excited just to hear Joss and to come and be here, but I'd be here anyway. I love it here. It feels like, the place that you want to go, because you see like-minded people, doing things that they love, and genre is my favorite thing. So to be at this place, it's a logical question, but the truth is, I just love being here because I love the stuff here. The people here are, great and spirited and passionate. So it feels like, an odd second home.
All right.
Hi, my name is Ben Hampikian, and I'm a young filmmaker and writer. So I was wondering, which do you like to do better, TV shows or movies? And what unique element do you bring to each?
What was the last question?
Did you ask, do they prefer film or television, and what unique quality do they bring to each?
Yes, that is.
Yeah. Let's start with film.
I think it's apples and oranges. What you can do in a movie, what you can accomplish, is so extraordinary and so fulfilling, and you get to be done, which, believe me, is a huge relief. But being able to tell a story over, say, 7 years, or even just 15 episodes, 11 of which they are out of order, is so. I sound like such a unsaid that. That's a different kind of fulfillment. It's kind of a slow burn thing, but to me, gun to my head, be the greater of the two. And then I really didn't hear that. It sounds like you bring. What quality do I bring? I can't answer that.
Well, one quality that we associate with you, Joss, is just your dialogue. You're just. At what point does that come into your creative process? Is it something that you find over countless drafts, or is it something that just comes very naturally?
That's just people talking. I don't write second drafts, really. Obviously you have to, but to an extent, I don't put anything down until it's right. The dialogue is, unfortunately, sometimes I write it before I come up with the plot, and then I have to sort of figure out how to get to it, which is awkward. I gotta work on that. But I just.
You do second drafts?
Generally speaking. Bastard.
It's amazing. Wow.
I can name at least 6 episodes where it shows.